Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 10th. We're just going to jump right in here and see what is going on for you at this time. You have this first card here. It says Peacemaker. It says a win-win approach will bring mutual gains. I do feel like there is some sort of win-win coming in here. For some of you, it's interesting because I do feel like it's in love. Like if you have a past person here or something, I'm not saying that you're taking this person back. Actually, quite the opposite. But I feel like you could be kind of just like forgiving the situation or moving on from it. And I kind of feel like it has a spillover effect into other areas of your life. Like, it could just be one of those things where you let it go and your money improves, just probably because you're forgiving it and you're not thinking about it any longer or giving it too much time. Could be a soulmate coming in for you as well. So for those of you that want love, I do feel there could be a very desireful connection coming in for you here. But I definitely like to see that. You have the Knight of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Magician in your first row. Look at this. Look at this reading. Definitely could be love if you want love. It's funny to me, Capricorn, that all your readings have been like love-based. Just interesting. It's just something I've noticed, and even people have left comments like saying you don't do love readings. I'm like, yeah, but okay, like look at how it's set up. It's like I'm also not gonna make something up just to make you happy. Sorry, right? But what I would say is I feel like you've dealt with an inconsistent energy in the past. Definitely a liar. You have the Devil right next to it, and I feel like I've been talking about this for weeks. Someone who breadcrumbed you, who wasted your time. So that could be like in the back of your mind. And again, this person could be coming back. I feel like it's almost like, I don't mean this in a I don't mean this in like a critical way. I just think that you could be looking at this person as a child. It's like I think you could be saying, this person's just a child, even if they're an adult. And, I kind of feel like that's allowing you, if this part of the story is for you, I feel like that's allowing you to forgive the situation. I also see that a lot of you are creating a lot of stability here. It's like you go here from the Knight of Wands, which can represent your desire. Like he really moves towards his desires, to the Devil. I always say that the Devil isn't necessarily a bad card. Sometimes I think it's a card of animal instincts, like our baser instincts, and it could say that you have some baser instinct idea, some like from your root chakra, where it's like you want to create something. And sometimes with the Devil, I feel like we need to bring it up to our head so we can express it into the world. And the Six of Pentacles would kind of represent planting seeds, experimenting. Four of Wands would just be committing to whatever this is. So it could be like a new business idea, just a project, something you want to work on in life. Could be your health, whatever it is, doesn't matter. It's what you desire to do. We see a lot of desire right here, right? But whatever it is going to set you free. So I would definitely move towards your desires this week. You have the King of Wands as well. He is a leader. He's very bold and confident as well. I kind of feel like you're embracing this energy this week. I do feel like you could be attracting a person like this. Clearly, it could be a fire sign, but it could also be any sign. I feel like, but whatever it is, I feel like there's a ton of attraction between you and this person. I feel like you've attracted this into your life as well. So if it's love, I feel like you've asked for it. If it's freedom or money or more success, I feel like you've asked for it. I don't know. I don't know what else to say other than I love it, Capricorn. I feel like this is a very good reading regardless of what you want, especially if you're taking action. Again, having 3 fire sign cards like that, I would definitely say you're not going to get this, whatever this is, sitting around on the couch, as I always say. So you're going to have to take action, but it looks pretty good. I'm using this Lenormand deck, by the way, and with the Knight of Wands, you have the Bear. The Bear and the Lenormand can represent like power, strength, kind of represents learning as well. Normally on a traditional bear card, there's like a mother bear and 2 little baby bears, and it kind of represents learning from a situation. And so again, if you had a past inconsistent person, I feel like you have learned a lot from that person, even if it was not a great situation. And, now I feel like you're kind of moving on towards, it's like you're taking that knowledge to a new relationship that's going to be much better if you want love. I also get something here, again, the bear can represent an influence because, the mother bear is influencing her baby bears. And then you have the Devil here, which can also be a card of like manipulation, influence, someone who is maybe negatively influential. So again, if you have an ex that's like that maybe you just can't control yourself around him, then I would be careful. With the King of Wands, you have the Scythe. This is a card of removing something from your life or, cutting something something out. So again, I feel like you are cutting out something that has maybe been a negative influence in your life. It is a card of kind of like adapting to a new situation as well, because you're you're cutting one thing out and you're stepping into something new. It can be like a little bit jarring, a little bit shocking energy, the Scythe card. It can represent kind of entering into a situation that's new and shocking, like culture shock, or it's like, if you've ever been to a new country, it's kind of that energy, but it doesn't necessarily mean traveling. Again, you could be getting a new job, and maybe there's like a little bit of that kind of culture shock where you're just like this is brand new. And it is popping into my head, by the way. That's why I'm saying it. Some of you could be entering, like getting a new job or starting a new business. I feel like it's very different than you thought it would be. I would stick with it. Intuitively, that's what I'm getting, is that if you get a new job and you're a little bit nervous now, because maybe you're starting to think like, especially if this week you're having your first day, or maybe next week or whatever, I feel like there could be some of that initial, I wouldn't call it regret, but I kind of feel like it's a little bit of regret. I think actually that's going to change very quickly. You're actually going to want this job, whatever it is. With the Magician, you have the Fox, very sneaky, sly energy. I'm telling you right now, I would be careful of the past person who is sneaky, sly, liar, cheater, stealer. This has been coming up for you for the past few weeks. Going this way, it could be an Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, a Leo. Could also be a Pisces. I feel like this person is still sneaky. I get the feeling that this person might have a certain hold over you. Maybe you just can't help yourself around them. I don't know. I'm not here to judge, whatever it is, right? And, but I would be careful, because I feel like they are still a big liar. I would be careful. It's funny because I just said this to Pisces, so it could be a Pisces. I said something, they had something very similar. So I'd be careful of that. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this self-exaltation card. It says, humility reminds you that success doesn't all come from what you have, but what you have to offer. Recognize your strengths and weaknesses and be willing to learn from others to achieve more. So I definitely feel that would be a good idea for you. You have the Devil, the Queen of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. And kind of like the Queen of Wands is a very good card. She's very bold, assertive. She really goes for what she wants. She really wants to be successful. So she really kind of like makes the moves to be successful. But one thing I will say about her is that all the other Fire Court cards, they have salamanders on their cloaks. And salamanders represent protection from fire. They basically represent protection from risk. And she doesn't have salamanders on her cloak, so she's like not protected from risk, but it's more of that energy of learning as you go. So if you're entering into a new situation, it's like, I feel like you have the confidence, as that self-exaltation card says, and this card as well, but I also feel there's like more to learn. So don't be afraid to learn from like new situations that you're entering into. With the Devil, again, this is just your card. I would be careful of, a past person, but I would also say that I kind of feel like this is your energy. Again, you have the self-exaltation card, and then you have your card showing up in the reading. This really puts you in a position of power and strength, really allows you to get what you want from the reading. You have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune can be some sort of turnaround. So I do feel like there are like improvements, or there is a turnaround coming in for you with the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like there's just improvements in general coming in for you with this card. So, that's kind of like what I get, is just improvements in general coming in for you. I also feel that for some of you, this is talking about like some sort of mystery. I have like a very mysterious feeling about this card, but it's like not a bad mystery. It's a good mystery. Like I would say, if you're, especially with all these three fire sign cards, if you're becoming interested in something new, again, they can represent desire. It's like sometimes we just desire to do something in life. Like we want to learn how to play tennis or something like that. And, again, it could seem very random, and I think when these random things pop up in our head where we're like, I want to learn how to play tennis, we're like, but why? And it doesn't seem important, but sometimes it's very important. Maybe it totally changes your health. Maybe you're a natural at tennis and you don't even know it yet, right? So I kind of get that here, where it's like there could be something very random, like a very random thought or interest that pops up, but I feel like it could be very good for you. It could be good for, your business, your health, whatever it is you're working on. So if you have any random thoughts, I would move in that direction. With the Devil, you have the Book. The Book represents hidden or secret information. I definitely feel that you were dealing with a very secretive person. If you were dealing with a person, this person could be coming in to tell you the truth with the book, but again, it's like you already knew the truth. I get this weird feeling that some of you, it's like you've had some ideas about a past person. where it's like you kind of knew what was going on. And, again, I would be very careful of this person. You might just want to block this person. It does not look good to me. I'm not going to like sugarcoat it. It's like if you have if you have this past person in your life who you think was sneaky, I think it'll hurt your feelings. So, again, I'm a big fan of protecting my feelings, and I think you should too. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Stork. This could represent the birth of a child, of course. Storks bring babies to parents, right? That's how we have babies, right? And, I feel like really there's just like a renewal or a rebirth coming in for you. Definitely after some sort of difficult ending with that Scythe card, which is coming up right next to it here. It's kind of interesting. If we look at the King of Wands, going from King of Wands to Queen of Wands, it's almost like some of you... I'm not talking about love here. I'm talking about really all areas of your life. It's like some of you maybe, I get this feeling of taking a step back, I'm wondering if like maybe since like October of last year, if maybe you've kind of like taken a more, like reserved approach to life, or maybe you've just been taking a step back from things. So you've gone back to the Queen of Wands, being like, what do I really not know? Those are the words that are popping into my head. I'm like wondering if you were very confident and something hurt your confidence, like a breakup, a separation, or maybe someone lied to you. Doesn't even have to be. It could be maybe you lost a job, or something happened maybe back in like October, or maybe even September or August, right? Is what I'm getting here. I feel like that's when this happened, back then. Last year, and I feel like you're building up your confidence again, which is great. This feels very good to me. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Lily. This could literally represent love coming in for you. Someone coming in with an offer or something like that. And so, I don't know. I just feel that's kind of like the energy I get here, is that there could be a turnaround in your love life, which we kind of see going this way. Maybe that's why all your readings have kind of been about love. And again, take it how it resonates. If you don't want love, this could be you committing to something that you do love. I do feel like that for a lot of you. Even if you do want love, I feel a lot of you are committing to a new desire. But this could be a desire to create a business, or to play tennis. Like I said, whatever it is, doesn't matter. I feel like it's going to be good, whatever it is. Next, in the area of what you need to know right now, you have this Pisces season. It says more action helps gain momentum, intuitive, sensitive, perceptive. Do what aligns with you spiritually. Again, I like to remind people that I know it sounds ridiculous when I say things like play tennis or whatever, but it's like we live in a time where I feel like what people don't realize is it's like the dots that we're going to be connecting are going to be unrelated to the rest of our life. Let's say you want to start a business, and maybe your first inspiration is to go play tennis. You might be saying those two things are not connected. But again, you never know. You might fall in love with tennis and open a tennis court and become famous for it or whatever. I don't know, right? Sounds ridiculous, but again, we are in a time of ridiculousness. It's like no longer, think about this, right? It's like impossible to get a job. Most people don't want jobs nowadays, right? And most of the ways to get successful aren't going to work any longer. We have AI going to steal all the jobs if you listen to most people, right? So it's like we have to be ridiculous in certain ways. And I'm not talking about ridiculous in a bad way. I'm talking about like unique, eccentric in a good way. That's how people are going to become successful, with these crazy ass Piscean ideas. And again, the universe is really helping us out. We have Neptune and Pisces, which gives us these crazy, castle in the sky dreams. And then we have Saturn and Pisces, which is like, okay, that's like the boot in the ass to get your ass moving, to bring those ideas down to earth. So, I'm telling you right now, if you feel inspired to do something that seems disconnected from the rest of your life, it is probably the thing that will lead to something else that leads to your castle. Let's put it that way, Capricorn. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, the Hangman, and the Five of Swords. The Six of Pentacles says experiment, be playful. Six of Pentacles, I definitely feel like you've dealt with a breadcrumbing energy in the past maybe. But for the most part, I feel like this is what you give to. And so I feel like you need to give to something that maybe seems disconnected from your life, like I said. And it seems like it could be a hobby, could be a business idea, could be anything, whatever it is. I would just give it some energy and just see what grows. I would say Six of Pentacles says plant some seeds in a direction and see what sprouts, see what comes up, right? Next, you have the Three of Cups and the Hangman. So, I feel like someone kept you waiting. So I feel like this is what you're walking away from. If again, I feel like there were a lot of disappointments to the Four of Cups here. So I do feel that where someone could have breadcrumbed you or put you in a third party and they really wasted your time. And, I feel like you're a little bit nervous about love because of that. And maybe you've been waiting or healing with the Hangman. Hangman doesn't really represent healing, but I kind of get that feeling intuitively off of him. I also think that you've maybe gotten some information about a third party here. So it's like maybe you know more about the situation than you realize. Other than that, I feel like this is saying, okay, it's time to get out of hangman mode and it's time to celebrate. We literally go up here. The Wheel of Fortune could suggest that the way to change your life is to celebrate, to go have celebrations, go spend time with friends, have fun with people you care about, like all those things. That's what I would be doing in that direction. You have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords could represent like a separation or a breakup. We already know about this, right? But what I would say is that the Five of Swords to me represents taking a risk. And I do think we are in kind of a good time to take a risk. We have Mars in Cancer, which is your opposite sign. And kind of like intuitively, I feel like sometimes like Mars in Cancer, it could be like a little bit of a risk-taking energy. And I would say that it could be a good time for you to take a risk. We're talking about calculated risk here, like starting a business that you've been thinking about starting, asking a person out that you're interested in, those types of risks, right? Let's see. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the birds. The birds represents communication. So I do feel there could be communication coming in for you here with the birds. I also feel like there could be some sort of news coming in for you. Again, I would be careful of this past person. It's coming up here right next to that devil book, like secrets coming out. And again, if you don't want to be hurt, I would be careful. With the Three of Cups in the Hangman, you have the Sun. The Sun is just as good as the Sun in the tarot. It's a card of like following your bliss, happiness, joy, a card of enlightenment as well, just like the Hangman. So you're clearly gaining some enlightenment. I also feel like you could be getting a lot of positive attention. Again, Three of Cups, Four of Wands, Two of Cups. Even outside of love, these are very, very positive cards for spending time with people you care about, getting positive attention from people you care about. So, all those things would be good. With the Five of Swords, you have this man card. Some of you literally could be taking the risk of getting into a new relationship with a man. But again, in these general readings, I always say I don't attach gender to these cards, even though it is a gendered card. I feel like it could be just a person that is entering into your life. Feels like a risk. I feel like you're trying to tell. It's like you're trying to be able to tell whether this person is real or not, if it's new love. Four Cups over here as well. It looks to me like you're probably going to enter into this situation. At the end here for the good stuff, doesn't matter what shows up here, it's going to be good. You have this card that says up in the air. It says this situation has many unknown elements due to the influence of others. Could be the past relationship, but again, this is the good stuff. So I feel like for some of you, it's like you don't realize how good a commitment is going to be. And I'm not just talking about love here, Capricorn. You could be, again, committing to a business. You could be committing to something that your higher self is telling you to do. I always say that the Two of Cups can represent you and your higher self. This is the Staff of Hermes, which represents communication. And so I feel for some of you, it's like your higher self could be trying to guide you through dreams, daydreams, all those, intuitive messages, things like that. And I feel like you need to follow your intuition. I feel like this is saying like your intuition is guiding you towards something much, much better in your life. So I really like that, but I would listen to your higher self. And of course, again, if you want love, obviously there's really good love cards here for someone new. You have the Four of Wands. It's like I feel like you're actually completing something, which is interesting. Maybe you always get to the same point in relationships and then it ends, And I kind of feel like this is saying you're actually getting much, much farther with a new person than you ever have before. It could be marrying them, and it could be someone you spend the rest of your life with, but it's much different. I also feel like there is just completion energy here. The Four of Wands can represent completion or the ending of something, and I feel like you're ending a negative cycle with the Four of Wands. So, definitely really like to see that. You have the Four of Cups as well. So the Four of Cups is a card of contemplation and apathy. Normally, I don't like the Four of Cups personally. I don't think it's a bad card, but, it's like he's trying to manifest something. He's not really getting what he wants, and he's disappointed, right? But what I would say to you is that I feel like you are kind of getting something you want. I feel like there is success coming in for you, or you're finally getting like the mixture that you want. I always say that, the solution of the Four of Cups, as far as I'm concerned, is mixing those cups together. It's like he's the way I look at it is that he's like trying to manifest a cake, and he's got the flour, the sugar, the eggs. He just has to mix everything together and put it in the oven, right? And I kind of feel like some of you, that's what this is talking about here. Let's see. With the Four of Wands, you have this Tunnel card. This deck has some extra cards in it that are not Lenormand cards. This says Hiding, Passage, Journey, Lost, Exploring the Subconscious, Dark Times. I feel like you're leaving dark times behind, obviously, because this is the good stuff. Like I said, it's going to be good no matter what. With the Two of Cups, you have the Tower. This is not like the Tower in the Tarot. This actually represents something like stable. It does have some challenging meanings. Like it can represent a person with a big ego. It can represent a person who kind of like almost stands up to themselves too much. It's like they try to appear to be too much of an authority in life or a leader when they're actually not. But it's coming up in the good stuff, and it's not a bad card necessarily. So I kind of feel that it's more that some of you could be attracting a person who really stands out. It is a card of something that stands out. I also feel for a lot of you that there could be an opportunity that stands out to you that's coming in, and I would jump on it, like whatever it is. With the Four of Cups, you have this Trumpet card. Again, another oracle card in this deck. It says Victory, Resurrection, Awakening, Decisiveness, Inner Calling, Forgiveness. Yes, didn't I say that at the beginning of the reading? It's almost like you're forgiving a past situation. It's like the second you let go, something much, much better is coming in for you here, Capricorn. I get that feeling for the most part. I also feel that, again, I get this feeling from your reading that it's almost like there's a situation that's coming in for you where you don't realize how good it is. I would do your research for sure. We're going to pull 5 main themes now, Capricorn, and we're going to see what comes up for you. You have this friend card. Some of you could be meeting a person who maybe you start out as friends and then it kind of develops from there. It might be a person you know right now. Look, she has flowers. So again, I feel like for some of you, it could be a friend that becomes interested in you. Again, there seems to be this like underlying energy of socializing here. So, I feel like being social, having fun with friends would be a good idea. You have this Sweetheart card. Yes, again, like I said, I can't make it up. It's like, it's funny to me when people are always like, you say you don't do love readings. I'm like, yeah, but it's like every single card is a love card. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Make it up? I don't think so. There you go. You have the new Sweetheart coming in. And even if you don't want love, again, I always tell people, it's like, it doesn't matter if you want love or not. It's like, that's not going to stop a person from approaching you. You don't have to accept it. Again, I don't think tarot should tell you what to do. And as I always say, it's like, you don't have to accept the love into your life, but don't be surprised when it happens, because guess what? You have the Lover card. Are you kidding me? Again, there you go. Definitely could be a new lover. Very good as well. You have this Sorrow card. Again, I would be careful of the past. I think it would make you sad if you heard the actual truth. Some of you might want the truth, and even if it makes you sad. So, you do you, as I always say, but, I would be careful if you don't want it, if you don't want to hear that a past person, cheated on you with your mother and your sister and your brother, then I would say don't. Next, you have this letter. Again, I literally feel like someone could be writing you a letter. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Again, I would be very careful of a past person. It's just like the feeling I get here. I feel like they could be trying to sweet talk you or suck you back in. So I'd be careful. For others, I am getting something about approval here. Can we get more clarity on that? Well, you have this Enemy card as well. For some of you, you could be getting communication from like a karmic or something like that is what I'm getting here as well. I also feel like you could be getting approval on something that you didn't get approved for is what's popping into my head. I'm trying to figure out what that means. It could mean that maybe you got denied for a job and now you're actually getting the job, an opportunity to get the job again. If that's happening for you, if maybe they didn't pick you from a list of candidates, right? I kind of feel like some of you could be getting communication from a job, a potential job, where they're like, hey, we want you to come back. I would do it. Looks like you're going to get it. So I would definitely do it. But pretty interesting reading here, Capricorn. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your week.